Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Queen's Code podcast. I'm Imara, and I'm here with my dope-ass queens, Delia and Alicia.
What's up?
How are you guys?
We good.
I'm amazing. Had a great day.
Good. How was your day?
Busy per usual. Clients, school stuff, fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Bus moves. Bus moves. I bet.
My day was too much today. Man, I woke up this morning sewing, literally in my sleep.
Okay.
And I had to get a rapid COVID test because right now my store shut down. Like we
Oh,
had to
wow.
close up because we had
Oh,
exposure,
yeah.
and just to make sure every one of my staff don't die, we all got tested, whatever. But we did this second rapid test just to double check so I can go back to work Thursday.
And
And
you're
then
negative,
fabric,
right.
and then here, and then here we are.
I really can't wait for my dope stuff that you're making, by the way.
I can't
I'm
wait.
jealous. I'm jealous.
I can't wait either.
When do I have an
appointment?
appointment? When do I have an appointment? Like, what's going on?
Text
What's
me,
up?
be like, I need some things made, and then we plan.
Right.
All
exactly.
right. We'll talk later then. Okay. Okay. Well, today's topic, guys, it's simple. It's relationship goals.
That sounds
Okay.
spicy.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of things online. I mean, that's always going to be a topic that's always going to come back. But I've seen something online that kind of crushed me. It was a meme, I guess, of a pregnant lady putting her knee down to propose to her man.
Not I.
Yeah, and she was really pregnant. Like,
Oh my gosh, I
really
seen that. I
pregnant.
did.
Like, you could see
Like
the
she
whole
could pop
belly.
any
and stuff.
second.
Yeah.
Down on the knee.
And
Like she was sweeping her own membrane while she
Yeah.
was
listen,
My bad.
it was terrible to me personally. Like, I feel like we should definitely see what's up there, because it's not the first time that I see a woman.
It's
putting
like a
the knee
trend
down.
going on now.
It is.
I don't know if it's a trend or women are just wanting to initiate the whole marriage proposal thing. I
They're, like,
understand.
tired of waiting, maybe?
Like, I understand. Maybe they're tired of waiting, but I feel like there's a way to go about that. You could finesse that a little bit. That could be a discussion. There could be hints. I mean, if you're in a healthy relationship, and I feel like I can't say most, because everyone has different things that they want out of their relationships. Not everybody wants marriage. But if that is something in your household, your future husband or your spouse would know that. I'm not going down on one knee.
Yeah.
You would know that, especially pregnant. And I feel like not just her.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot. A lot of women proposing to their men. And I'm like, they didn't catch the hint. Y'all didn't have these conversations. They
Right.
didn't.
I mean,
Or the
if
lack of conversation.
Or the lack of.
you're pregnant, you still hasn't proposed. It's like,
Yeah.
Girl.
How
what
do
are
y'all
you
feel about
doing?
that?
That was
And
the
then
whole
it's
time.
even dangerous. The guy looked totally.
Like,
You
nah.
look like a peasant. I'm sorry. Like, you're literally watching
likes
your
that word.
woman with a baby, like, on the floor. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what is that? I have no respect for people like that. I'm
That's
sorry.
a ghetto too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Catch
That sounds
me.
crazy.
But what I think is, you know how they say how women we're so impatient, we can wait and stuff. And a lot of times men, like they like to take their time to really settle. They like, really choose the one and, spend the money on the wedding. Like they like to take their time. So I feel like more and more women are just like, I don't care. I'm going to propose. He loves me. He's with me. He's going to say yes. Let's propose so we can
But
do you
move
feel like
on.
that's pressure?
But do you have you ever heard that the man usually knows who's the one?
Okay.
Like you've heard that phrase
Yeah.
before, like if a man wants you, he's gonna show you whatever. So why do these men waste their time with these women they don't want? Because to
that's-
the point they're knocking them up. Like they're
because
willing to
that's-
shoot up a club.
That's most
Like
men's-
if men truly knew who they wanted and that was the one, why? It's because they can just date whoever they want, and if they pass their seat on to someone they didn't have any intentions with, oh well, they're still gonna go and try that to find that one. I feel like these women are missing those cues, and they're like, well, we've gone this far, so let me go down on one knee, and maybe he'll just be like, yeah.
That's scary.
Do they think he'll say yes out of pity, out of responsibility?
I just think there's just a lot of men that they're gonna take as much as time as you give them. Okay? They're gonna stay there. You cooking for him. He doesn't want to settle down. He doesn't want you as a girlfriend, but he's still gonna be there knocking at your door every single night.
Right.
Okay, spending time with you, going
I
on
got a bedtime,
vacation
so I
with
might not
you.
hear those knocks.
You know what?
I gotta sleep early. I got a long day.
There's something very interesting to say about that. Everyone has what they want out of, like, define like clarity. Like, I know what I want in my future partner, which is why I'm not married yet, because I haven't encountered that yet. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I cannot say I've never dated just to date. And I feel like men do that with a lot of hormones involved, and then they have the potential to get someone pregnant. But there's also accountability on my end that I have to take, and accountability on for men. So I don't know if everyone is intentional. Let's just be real. We can't put like everyone is purposeful. They know what they want out of life. Some people are just literally just living and wilding.
Right.
So men and women.
That should be on
men
a t-shirt.
and women.
That should be on a t-shirt. Living and wilding.
Right. Living and wilding.
So then we know if you're like, not that dude.
Right. Not you.
No.
Okay. Not you either.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing. And then.
So how to get? So we just. What do we have to do as a woman if we actually want a guy to marry us? We just wait.
What did you do? Because you're the married one. Hell.
You are.
I mean,
you are the married one.
I didn't do much.
I think teasing is always good. Distance is always good. Like, a lot of people think constant quality time, always being together, but like distance makes the heart grow fonder, right?
That's what they say.
So right, for some people.
Right.
So I feel like if you're not giving everything to this person and you're still holding back, there's gonna be a curiosity in the partner. Like, well, she's such a dope person now. I just want to see what more she can give, and to unlock that more, they're probably gonna notice, if they're smart, marriage may be the next step, or a serious relationship if they're just dating. But that also is to assume if the person's that intelligent.
Right. Right.
From like a friendship point of view, I think that you Americans are like so complicated.
They
with
play
this whole
games.
dating situation.
There's a lot of games.
Like in France, I like you, you like me. We spend more than 3 nights a week together. We're together. That's it. In my mind.
We're one.
Not here. It's like
We're one
do
now.
everything a married couple do.
I have learned
but
that.
I'm single. But not
Right.
you though.
I have learned that.
It's one-sided.
It's
one-sided.
so crazy.
I feel like here, you as a woman have to hold
back.
your talent. Like, you can't really show all your skills. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't really show to the guy that you could cook like a chef.
Right.
You know, you can't give him like
Everything
What do you
in
do
the
on the first
bedroom.
night?
In the bed.
You give him a ramen noodle dish.
And I think it's crazy because guess what?
She said
I feel
ramen
like,
noodle.
I don't
I'm
know.
done.
From where I'm from, the guy sees who you are and he's gonna lock you down and
Yeah.
keep you, and that's. But here, it's like you have to scratch more and scratch more. And
Do you feel
scratch
like
more
that's the
to see-
U.S. or Miami? Because we live in Miami, where it's a
I think it's the
city.
US.
Any
of-
major city.
I think it's the U.S.
Major
because
city. It's-
I have dated out of town. Was New York, and some of my friends were like, "This guy is never gonna settle with you, Imara, because you're giving him wifey vibes already. So why he's never gonna be challenged to take you to the next level?" And I was like, "That's fucking stupid. If I'm wifey already, why don't you give me a ring? Like, it makes sense to me, no?"
Because apparently
How
marriage
dare
is
you
so
play with
scary.
me? How dare you play with someone who
Yeah.
is not on your level?
Because as long as they could take without a commitment of leaving, because like if they
Exactly.
marry you, then they're gonna be like, dang, I didn't really want to settle yet.
I learned
I
that.
had everything at this early stage of my
it's
life.
dishonest. It's
Yeah,
dishonest.
because they can always break up with you for free. But
Once
they gotta
you
divorce
see,
you. That costs
once
money.
you see that the crown is too heavy for you, make space, move on. Make space for the
Exit
for the
stage
real king
left.
with the real shoulders, the real head. Like, move on.
So I got a question. What is like the definition of relationship goals?
Relationship goals.
Well, we can probably
I
put that.
want that. Relationship goals is a phrase that refers to admirable relationship. It is commonly used to describe a romantic couple or an action by the couple that you want to someday achieve in your own love life. This was in 2017, though, but hey.
Yeah, it still
works.
relates today. What do you guys hashtag? What do you guys see as like personally? What do you see as a relationship goal versus what society or social media deems as a relationship goal?
I'm trying to be my own goal, girl. I don't
Amen.
have time to
Right.
copy others because
Yeah,
you know
for
what?
real.
There's always a dark side
Exactly.
to a relationship, and that's for everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether
Agree.
it's business, friendship, love. of course, Instagram, show the glamour aspect, the beautiful aspect of things, but it's not going to show you all those dirty DMs going on. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're just scrolling, you're looking at this, and then if you're a little bit insecure or missing things in your life, you're like, oh my God, I wish I had that hashtags relationship goals.
Right.
But I'm realistic, and I'm sure even Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I mean, y'all have heard it through their albums.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I think Beyonce gifted us with her album because she's like, yeah, I am the Beyonce.
I'm Beyonce,
but
y'all.
shit ain't sweet all the time.
Right.
And yeah.
And that gave a little bit of reality. Like, as far as someone like myself, similar to wanting that realness, that rawness, I like, when I see some relationship, like, oh, y'all are cute. That works for you guys. But I feel like for me, I know what I want, and there's nobody, not friends, not family, that's going to dictate what I want in my own relationship.
Right.
And I think the world of social media, songs, there's a lot of like push and pull, like that's leading young and just people in itself to want a certain type of relationship, whether that's men just spoiling them, just a certain idea of what a relationship is, and everything takes work.
Yeah.
So for me, I like rawness. I like realness. Like you said, there's the other parts of relationships that aren't highlighted.
Yeah.
So I think just knowing what you want, respecting others, I mean.
Now there are some, I'm not the type of person to really envy others, but there are some relationships that are admirable. I don't know if you guys saw Niecy Nash and her fiance. It's a woman. Niecy Nash.
I saw like a trailer or teasers of the
Red Table Talk?
Yes, with them two. Like,
okay, tell me.
A very spicy teaser. I was like, oh, I'll watch that eventually, but I don't know the whole details of it.
Yeah, she's a 51 years old actress. She has always been attracted to men in her whole life until she's found her soulmate, which is a woman.
That's crazy.
And they got married.
Ooh.
And people were like, she came out, and she said, came out from where?
Right, I've been here.
I've been
I just like her.
with this nigga.
Okay, that brings up a subject.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, I think it's kind of admirable to, no matter the gender, to just look at that person's soul and be like, I love you. Like
we work.
Yeah.
Like, we are here. Like, we match each other's vibes.
That's big.
When you look at them even on TV and stuff, like you can see the love, the glow, like it's, sometimes it just speaks on itself. And
it's not always a man.
Yeah.
You hear that, ladies?
And that's another trend. So now, that's
straight.
another trend where
Right.
women are
No
like,
pun intended.
okay, I've done that my whole life. I know men, but now guess what? I'm open to change.
Right.
And that's what it's going to be.
Right.
Would you guys, have you guys been attracted to women before in your life? And if not, would you see yourself like be with a woman or falling for a woman?
I've only ever had girl crushes. Like, I would watch, there was one time during like COVID, but I was still at work though. I was just watching till like 3-4 in the morning. This one girl, her Addis Taylor, the dancer. So she looks something like me. She's a lot brighter though, but she has curly hair. She's clearly mixed with whatever, but she dances like pop, really great dancer. Super cute to me. So I would have a girl crush, but I don't find her attractive in the sense where I would love up on her in a intimate way.
Yeah, intimate.
Right,
romantic way. I would be great friends with her. She is very good looking, because for me, women are attracted to their beautiful bodies, shape, hair, how they can change, how they can enhance themselves to be better. Not even look better, just be better. I think that's beautiful. But I'm not like intimately or romantically attracted to them. Like, I'm not gonna wine and dine you. I wine and dine you as a friend. I do that with a lot of my homegirls, but that's where it stops for me. Like, I don't see myself just, I'm gonna go on the next side of the tracks and date some chicks. Nah.
As far as dating, no. I mean, I love men. And I crave that masculine touch to my feminine nature. So, I mean, I think women are beautiful, and I don't think there's anything more beautiful than a woman.
Right.
But I cannot be in a relationship with a woman. Now, There's people who have experiences. Maybe later down, because I'm an open person. I don't really like to say, oh, I'll never do something, because there might be a time in my life where some things change, and like this lady, her wife.
Yeah.
But that might have already been attraction there. For myself, I can't see myself married to a woman. Relations, maybe.
So would you guys say that women are more sexually fluid compared to men, for example?
I would say, generally speaking, there's a majority of women, yes. Not for every woman, of course. You can't speak for everybody. But yes, it's easier for a woman to like kind of go back and forth and talk between what she might like and be comfortable with in her walk. Because the social norms are so strict with men that even personally in their own home by themselves, men wouldn't even be able to think of like, well, what if?
They wouldn't allow.
Because now
them
they're gonna go and condemn themselves like, no, that's okay, that's not what we do, blah 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 blah. So like for women, that's like no effort.
I feel like women are allowed to explore themselves a little bit more in
Yes.
relationships, whether it's with a man, with a woman, with multiple partners, to a degree, because men are allowed to explore themselves. But as far as same-sex relationships, I feel like in society, it's like, oh, okay, she dated a girl, or she was with a girl, or she made out with a girl. No one's kind of, right, it's kind of like, oh, okay, cool, moving on.
There's definitely a bias there.
So there's definitely an extreme bias there.
But is what the general for years has deemed acceptable to a certain point.
Right.
So that's when you want to break those barriers, because there's, like in gender roles, there's barriers we want to break because that's not how you want to be looked at as a woman. Same here. Sexually, like men being sexually fluid is like, nah, he's just gay.
I was gonna say, how would you date a guy who was bisexual?
Debatable.
So debatable.
I would say this, and this is my true, honest, like, opinion. If I know he is bi, I will not.
Okay.
If we vibe out,
If you find out.
and I find out, but that doesn't bother me because his personality and his character trumped over what he does in the bedroom.
Right.
Cool. But he does not deserve my body. If I want to date him, cool, but I'm not gonna have sex with him.
Okay.
If it comes to that point, and whatever he did or does, or who he is as a person, if how I feel for him trumps that, I don't have a problem with it.
But
Okay.
I mean, like, how would you feel if someone is like, or all right, you experienced or explored something with a woman before, I don't want to deal with you.
Ooh, like if I experienced something with a woman and then they didn't want to date me because I did, I mean, that would be their prerogative. At the end of the day, everyone has choices, and if they're turned off by me exploring another woman, then that's something they can absolutely do.
But let's put
think
it
it sucks,
on this
but-
note. Say it's strictly heterosexual. Men look at women wild if they even know how many partners she's had, and it could be all heterosexual partners.
Right.
So
Which is crazy.
So
because
and
their numbers is not.
But
low.
but he also has that choice to not want to date her because she had X amount of partners in her past life.
Right.
But my thing is, I can't say, well, you can say like, well, F you, blah, 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 because you doing whatever you want, but that's still his choice.
Right. At the
It's
end
the beauty of being human, because we have a choice.
we have choices. Yeah.
Not respect, but the thing is, what people forget is the respect part.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You know what?
Respect.
I'm not comfortable. Like, their reasoning does not have to make sense to you because they're their own person, and you no longer have to deal with them.
Right.
But you don't have to now, because based off of your hurt and how offended you are, is to try to create a narrative about them because you're hurt. It's like, no, you just move on.
Yeah.
If you're strong within yourself, you just know, you know what, negativity and things that don't make sense, I'm not gonna stay around. Unless you know how to work through your triggers, just avoid it.
Right. Like for someone like myself, as far as the respect goes, I'm not trying to persuade anyone to think like me or exist like me. Show up as you are. If we can align, we can align.
Yes.
But if we can't, we can't, and that's fine. I think you should definitely be forthcoming in the things that you want. That's healthy.
Yep.
I think you should. I am always going to be a person who challenges my thought process and what is attached to. But by all means, like if you don't want to date someone who's dated a woman or who's dated a man,
It's called biphobia.
Biphobic, I heard.
biphobic,
wait, what is?
So say if say I didn't want to date a bisexual man because he's had sex or is, that's his thing. He likes to have sex with men and women. And I say I don't want to date you because you have sex with men. I'm biphobic. Because I don't want to date him for who he is. And I'm like, I could date him, but I don't want to be sexually intimate with him.
I don't
Like
think
it's
it's
Now,
enough.
apparently there's a phobia attached to that because of like stereotypical things where it's like men are bisexual or gay men have a higher rate of, you know, HIV, etc.
HIV, yeah.
That's when it becomes like a phobia. But I'm not trying to avoid that, man. I don't owe him my body.
So
I
it
owe him
wouldn't
my
be-
support because love is love, right? The community is, we all want to be equal rights for us because we want to get married. We want to love who we want to
wanna
love.
right?
But then don't take away the choice you guys clearly want from somebody else that's not interested.
Right. So what would be the difference between a preference and a phobia?
Okay, you
Because
have to
it
look
sounds
into
like
it.
a
Now you got to
preference.
look into definitions.
Okay,
Because a lot of people throw words around
Right.
very loosely, very easily, right? And then after a while, they lose their meaning, like love. People say, "Oh, I love you," you know, in relationships. It's like, no, you don't because you cheated. Anyways, so phobia
is
is
debatable again.
but phobia, literally, phobia is an irrational fear. I have a phobia with spiders. If there's a spider over there, that's a pretty good distance between me and the spider. I'm gonna be here and behave like I can't move out of this space because there's a spider in my way.
that's
Okay.
I can
what
easily
that
go
is.
that way. But
It's like
I
you're
want
avoiding
to avoid
it.
that. I
Okay.
would rather jump out this balcony.
Okay, so
dramatic.
an
I wouldn't.
avoidance. She
Exactly.
says dramatic.
So there's an irrational fear, and usually but when it comes to like a dislike or a deep hatred for an idea or something like that, you have a hatred. Sometimes it comes with violence. It comes with slurs. It comes with a deep disrespect.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna deeply disrespect this man because I don't want to have sex with him or date him. I'll be
Right.
like, you know what?
It's just a personal
do what you
preference.
want to do. I just don't want to be a part of it, but I will
Okay.
support it. Make sure you get your equal rights like a heterosexual.
I think
Other
it comes,
than that, I don't owe you shit.
Right.
I think it comes
Okay.
from the fear of being cheated on.
I don't
Big-
agree.
I think that you don't want, if you're concerned about my past and who I dated, who I had sex with, it's because you don't believe that I'm going to be the only one person you're going to have sex with.
Question. So when a man is like pump the brakes when he hears the amount of body count a woman he potentially
Which
wants to
I
be
think is
with
crazy.
is too high for his taste. Is he thinking, well, she's gonna cheat on me, or is he thinking, well, she's been with too many men, so now she no longer seems special to me because I'm not like her third, or it like.
Why
That's
does
back
that
in the days.
matter?
That's back in the days. Who in
I
2020?
understand that, but
who-
I don't think that. But I don't think if I don't want to date a bisexual man, it's because of cheating. Yeah, he's got both sides of the spectrum at this point. But if you're a cheater, you're a cheater no matter who you date.
Okay.
If you just date women, you're gonna cheat on me.
If you're a cheater.
If you're a cheater,
Right.
if you're bi, just because you got both genders now,
Doesn't
that
mean
doesn't.
you're
It's
gonna
not
go
like
for
you're 2 times likely to cheat. It's like, no, if you cheat, you're gonna cheat.
Okay.
You just gonna have a better time because now you have both sides.
I don't think that it's only cheaters who cheat.
What do you think?
Okay.
I think that you cannot be a cheater, but then depending on where you are in your journey, how you're satisfied in the relationship. I mean, cheating. There's a lot of reasons for people to cheat.
Right,
It doesn't
usually
mean
when
that
they-
it's part of your character. And I really think that people are like, because for me, cheating is cheating, whether it's with a guy or whether it's a girl. So if I'm looking at your past and okay, oh, you're bi, which means there's a possibility for you to basically have sex with a guy one day. I just come home and then I see you busted open like in my living room with a dude.
Oh God.
And
I'm more worried if my man is down low for doing that.
Right.
The down low ones that don't say nothing, the pretender heterosexual.
I have a question.
There's a bigger possibility to find
Because-
that man with a man in my sheets.
There's so many types of relationships,
true. Especially nowadays.
especially nowadays. What would you be open to as far as partnership? Like, there is monogamous, there is so many polys.
Oh, I'm about,
I think there's two.
There's two. Whatever.
I
Sounds
don't
like a
know
lot.
I don't know if I want to reply to this question right now. Putting me in trouble right now.
Right. I'm just saying, you
Just tell him
can't
to hold
answer,
his
you
ears
don't
at this
have
part.
to
Hold
Don't
your
answer.
listen. Don't listen.
Hold your
It's
ears.
just for the show.
Right. As far as, because we're talking about relationship goals, and some people think a monogamous relationship is a relationship, one partner, that's it. But let's just be real. The way that we exist now, Mike.
Your mic is like, nah, I don't want this.
There are so many types of relationships, and one, I respect them all, because if that is your union and that's what you
As long
agree
as there's an
upon,
agreement.
and there's an agreement, exactly,
Right.
carry on. What are some things that you would be open to? It could be now, future. It could be open. Like, I would not say, like, I'm not going to say I would never. I'll answer that, but I want to see what y'all think. Because there's so many types of relationships. I feel like maybe there's so much cheating, or was so much cheating going on, because people weren't being open and honest about the things that they actually wanted
Right.
in their relationship.
Right.
So then they attracted someone because they were existing as this person that wasn't truly them.
Right. Because they're trying to abide by what society deems as okay.
Right. And I feel like in 2021, there's so much openness, so much acceptance, like,
To a certain extent.
to a
Because, there's
to a
always going to
degree.
be different sizes going to disrespect.
Absolutely.
So people are not going to be comfortable.
a lot, but
I've seen a lot of clips on Instagram about the polyamorous relationships. Apparently, it's another trend where just both sides consent. Okay, you can have another man, you can have another woman, you can date whoever you want, but we're still together, and we can have a whole happy big family. And honestly,
they exist
to me,
together.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like they even agree on, okay, I love you, you're like the person that I love the most. I love him less or her less, but this is gonna work. Like no bad feelings, no,
I've heard that it's the ability to love everyone the same. And then I've also heard that it takes the pressure off of being that perfect someone for that one person. If you have more than one, you don't feel so pressured. Like,
To check every box.
say me and you share the same man. I don't feel pressure to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to satisfy
Yes.
him. He has too.
Yes.
So I can bring what I have to the table, and you can bring what you have to the table.
And you
that's
could
what I've
also
heard
date
about,
other
like,
dudes.
the core elements of a polyamorous relationship.
And you could also date other dudes if you want to.
I didn't know that. I thought that was an open relationship.
No, because
Right,
that
because
would
that's
be,
not. See, there's so many things.
there's polygamy where you only have
polygamy is
man
when you're
with-
married to
yeah.
the man
multiple
is married. Right.
polyandry for
What is they-
a woman with several husbands.
Oh, cute.
they got-
Yeah, you didn't
they
know
got-
about that one?
Oh,
I
don't think I can do that.
they
They
would
I'm not
burn women
attracted,
alive.
as long as there's more than two. To me, it's more drama. It's
This is
already
too
difficult
much.
to get to know someone fully, to
Exactly.
grow with that person, build with that person. But when you're adding more people in the sauce, it's like
It's a lot.
gonna be. And then I'm thinking about the disease, stuff like that. Like,
Well, that's if they don't take the precautions or the responsibility just to
Which-
get checked, which is not hard to do.
But you know what? We have to trust people's nature.
Yeah.
People's nature is to what? To fuck up. Okay. People are not.
You said people's nature is
and-
to what?
fuck up.
Oh, okay.
Like basically, and I don't want to say just men.
Like, you can't
because
expect everyone to be perfect, responsible, blah,
Yeah.
blah,
Make
blah.
mistakes. I
Like,
get
but
it.
yeah, it's gonna happen.
As a female dating men, I'm not attacking men, but my experience has been that men are not really reliable to kind of like protect your feelings, respect boundaries. Like we were talking about cheating respectfully the other day. Like to me, there's no such thing.
There's
you know
no
what I mean? It's like once you add other partners, it's a whole different relationship.
Right.
So you're moving, depending on how the person is, and if that woman doesn't like to use condoms, you think a guy's gonna be like, no, my wife said we have to wear condoms. Like, no, it's not.
My wife
Sis.
said.
Right. He's gonna be like, well,
I do have a
she ain't here, so you know.
Right.
He's not even gonna say nothing. He's just gonna go.
You're like, I bet.
Yeah, cool.
You know what I mean?
What?
So me, the poly is a no for me.
Yeah.
I like the mono, and I have experience.
What?
No police.
Yeah,
No
no poly.
poly.
Have experienced the poly, and
have?
I feel like yes, I have.
Okay.
But the main issue is that the guy wanted many women, but he was broke. Like,
See, that's
That's
another
another
thing.
thing.
Come on, you want more than one. Are
Alright.
you able to financially
you ain't
support-
providing, and then so what happened if I get pregnant?
What happens if he wasn't broke? You would have been a part of it. You'd have been like, game.
To me, if as a man, if you want to pretend that you want many women, how would you provide?
Right.
And I'm not saying the women are not doing anything and they're waiting on you to provide, but
Right,
you
right,
gotta
right.
provide, bro.
Right.
Because it takes money to date. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And to up.
Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do? Like,
Right.
And that guy specifically
That is
was waiting on the
crazy.
women. I think he kind of pictured himself as a lion with the
Manipulative.
lionesses going to hunt for him and bring the meat. That's the vision he had. But to me that's
What era
that's
was
so
he
whack.
existing?
Yeah, I was in my 20s, girl.
Oh, that was
20s.
a little bit
Yeah,
ago. That is crazy.
But basically, if if everybody agrees now, nobody should be hurt, but it has to make sense.
Right.
Yeah, as long as there's clear standards and boundaries
Boundaries.
placed, and it's like, hey, this is the relationship I want. Are you down?
I have a question. What is so we're talking about relationship goals.
Yeah.
Ideal relationship. Like, if you had to check all your quote unquote boxes, what would that be for? I mean, you're married, so you had to check some boxes. I got some.
Honestly, I'm in my relationship goals, and I'm not trying to be.
No,
cute or
amen to
whatever.
that. I love
I'm not trying
it.
to
You better flaunt it.
You know.
I am.
Not a lot of women can.
Nice,
No,
beautiful little
absolutely.
baby. And
No.
my man respects me. He's amazing,
Exactly.
smart, handsome. I don't want to say too much about his attribute, but I'm happy.
He's a
like,
great man. He's a good man.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. Is it because I'm the type of person that I'm happy with what I have? I don't know. No, I'm ambitious.
You have good
I'm
discernment.
ambitious. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I believe everybody can find what they really like and truly
I
be
agree.
happy and satisfied. The only thing is that social media brings so many. It's just raise insecurities because there's so many.
Stimulants.
Yeah, there's so many options out there. You're scrolling, you see 10 different couples relationship goals.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
That's why I asked that. Like, what do you want in your relationship?
I would say I'm quite simple because I don't have a set list of things of what I want. Like I don't
Okay.
have a type in a man that I date. Like if you see my lineup from my past, it's like, girl, what are you doing? It's like I don't have a type.
Right.
It's who I connect with.
Okay.
I just want an effortless bond, but I don't mind the work either because growing up,
Absolutely.
I've seen my parents work for their relationship.
Okay. Right.
From beginning until like I've seen the work. So I want an effortless bond where there's just everything's effortless. So there's the respect. Humans aren't perfect. So
Right.
there's going to be times where
Exactly.
we bicker, but there's always an understanding. It's
Right.
like, hey, I want to understand why this happened because it's not me against you, it's me against the problem, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
that's what I'm looking for.
I
So
connect
then
with
when
that.
there's something effortless and there's a bond that we both mutually want, we both agree to, then everything kind of falls into place.
Right.
Because now I'm not requiring him, well, I want you to be more like this or he's asking me to be more like that. We both will fall into these roles that we're looking for.
Right.
So now hearing the complaints where I'm a little bit too masculine in my nature, I might be more feminine. Because I would say growing up, the one thing that I truly want to become whenever I find it, because I'm not like searching for it
Right,
yet.
yeah.
I feel like I want to fall into something beautiful. I don't want to search for it. Because every time I feel like I search for it, like if I try to make the first move, it just does not work out.
Right.
So if I can fall into something where I can be my feminine divine self and just feel
Amen.
like a woman,
I love that.
then I feel like I've made it. I found the man because now I naturally was like this. And I'm
trust.
naturally going to submit to him in certain aspects because me being used to leading in my own life and just making my own decisions.
Right.
I want to sit back and be like, that's mommy.
you know what?
You know
How
what I
you
mean?
just
That's
spoke
trust.
that, express that.
yeah.
I feel like you're gonna manifest that soon.
I love that. Absolutely.
I'm not trying to get it yet. And let me
coming.
manifest
It's
my
coming.
business.
But the fact that
And-
it's so defined,
Yeah.
and,
It
and
is,
you've
it
had,
is.
at the end of the day, as far as what I've learned through my experiences with dating, it is me understanding what I do want and what I don't want.
Yeah.
And I've realized I need communication. I need for us to continue to explore one another. It's oneness to me.
Yeah.
It's not war.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to come home at peace. I'm not here to come home to a household that feels like there's
Cookie
so
cutter.
much disconnect.
Right.
Like, there's a hierarchy for me. Like, I know that I'm not a lady that could just date someone for money.
Right.
That's beautiful. I like stability. Let that be clear. But just because you have money, there's not enough Chanel bags that can get me to connect with you if we can't truly connect,
Right.
if we can't talk about things, if we can't get to the rooted things, because at the end of the day, like you said, relationships take work. There's a level of effortlessness.
Yeah.
We're making shit up now. But I want to make sure that we are connected. And I know that about me through the relationships that I've had.
Yeah.
And to be open and
Yeah.
to be vulnerable. And I allow whoever I'm with to be open, vulnerable, talk about the things that, because I feel like sometimes men feel like they don't have a safe space. And although I'm not a therapist, I want you to feel like you're safe with me, because I feel like that's a relationship. You're safe with me. You can tell me parts of yourself that you feel like you can't tell anyone else, and I'm not going to use that against you.
Exactly.
I'm going to build you up, and we're gonna make this thing work.
Right.
Vice
Y'all
versa.
ever like dated like a guy like you really liked and he was venting to you and you're like, yes, vent to me, I got you, boo. Y'all ever been like that? You've
When
ever
he's
been
venting?
excited when your man's venting to you?
To a degree.
Like
yes.
in your head, not in front of him clearly,
Yeah.
but like in your head, like, yes.
Yeah, because I
Like-
feel like he trusts me.
Right.
And trust is, I feel like, everything in all relationships. Like,
Right.
if I feel like I can, because I know how I am, like, I can be an open book with you, or I can be pretty reserved until
Yeah.
I kind of
Right, because you're trying to
I'm collecting
measure what's
data.
happening.
Right, I'm trying to like,
is he gonna be
right.
okay if
and
he
that's
knows
with
this part
let
of
me
me?
tell you,
Exactly.
that's with friendships, that's with
Yes.
my relationships,
always
intimate.
gauge.
I'm like collecting data, and I'm not trying to hold back, but I am trying to see your character and see what I can give to you, right, and vice versa. So absolutely, like, I love when a man can like express his true feelings to me, because I feel like I have a bond with you.
Right.
You want to tell me about your day. You want to tell me things that you're scared of, that you can't wait to conquer. And I want to be able to do the same with you. I want to be
Right.
able to build you up when you are feeling like, babe, I don't know if I got it.
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
like, you got it. Like,
Because it's so often where you see women complain. It's like, well, I don't know what he's thinking, and then now
And I don't
they're-
want that.
They've created a scenario in
I
their
can't.
head,
Right.
And that's where a lot of arguments happen,
I
because
can't.
he's created something in his head. She's
She's-
already created scenario from beginning to end because she thought she was Miss Detective Gadget or whatever. And
Right.
it's like when they argue, is they're against each other because they're trying to prove who's right.
Right.
When it's like, you should have just said whatever was bothering at the time,
Communication.
right? But then if you can't vibe out the person well, it's always going to be difficult for any minute like argument. You're gonna feel like you can't talk about anything. And I've been in a situation like that where it's like it could be something small, and I could have brought up something, and it's like it just turned into something. So I've always felt like, well, Delia, you can no longer tell this person how you feel because it's going to be an argument. And then
that
after
sucks.
you feel better after venting, this person, all of a sudden now you get the solid treatment from this other person. So now you can't tell how you feel. Now you're bottling everything up, and the worst
Yeah.
thing to feel is feeling alone when you're with somebody.
I was gonna say, and there's a level of freedom that
Yeah.
I crave from my relationships.
Yeah.
Like, and I want to give you the same in return. Like, I like I said, I can't be with someone that I can't have communication with, and I mean deep communication.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like, babe, this might sound a little crazy. I want you to be able to feel comfortable enough in time, because
Yeah.
I do understand there is a building phase that you can tell me things about yourself, and I'm not going to judge you.
Right.
I want to
define freedom.
Freedom for me is being able to have self-expression, tell you how I truly feel, where I'm at in this relationship, where I'm at in life, period, and not feel like I have to hold back. Because let's just be real, like I'm not in the art of faking the funk. I
Right.
don't know how to. So if I feel like there's so much resistance and I can't tell my guy this, or I can't, that's like I said, in all relationships in my life, then I don't trust you enough, or I have not built up enough confidence to be able to be free in that relationship of expression, then I know this will not flourish. Because at the end of the day, we could take trips, we could build a family. What is the root of our relationship? And that might be different for everyone. Some people, they're like intimate conversations that might be cringing to them, but I like to understand the person in front
Right.
of me so that I can help guide them. Like, we're guiding each other. Like,
Exactly. You're
if you
growing. You're
don't-
continually
right,
changing
just
with
the
this
same
person.
thing you said, like, we just start making up scenarios. Okay, you made everything up. You created these scenarios. No, how about you have communication so that you guys could help guide one another, and I could trust you to lead me at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So
So
that's
I have
what
a
freedom
question.
is for me.
What do you guys think about ménage à trois to spice things up in a relationship?
What is that?
Boom.
Fam, can you please explain?
Can you pull the
menage a
dictionary
trois is
out?
a threesome, girl. Like, what? Would you be open to inviting
People into
someone? I'm not even saying a girl or a guy,
Yeah,
but
right.
someone to explore things with your real guy, like your dude, like
my
your,
man, my
your
husband.
man, your husband.
For me, there has to be, like I said, because we build in a bond, so much trust. I'm not saying I would never do it. I don't know. In the beginning, maybe when I'm like 50, 60, babe, we done tried everything
went through
there
life
is to
already.
try. we want to find something. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yes. Like right now, I feel like there is a level of like life that I have to do with my partner for us to feel that comfortable being able to invite, because that could get real sticky, tricky, and real messy if you're not careful. So for me, there needs to be an established bond, and there's a lot to do with one person for me. I mean, there's a lot of things to explore. There's a lot of places to see. There's a lot of things to do.
I feel like
I like how you said that.
I just feel like, how much life have you lived to then want to invite someone else? Because for me, it's a N-O. Nah.
Like, I'm open to the idea way later. Like I said, way later in my relationship. Because I don't know. I mean, we might want to just spice some things up. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you guys know the comedian Michael Blackson?
Yes.
Yes.
So
oh my God, I
his
was watching.
beautiful fiance or girlfriend,
Dara.
Yeah.
Yes, she's
so they are in kind of like an open relationship, because when they met, I'm saying that because I watch couples therapy.
Yes, the couples therapy.
Whatever.
I like
So
couples
I
therapy.
accidentally watched that. Wait, I think because you sent
Yes,
me something.
I sent it to
so
you.
then
Yeah.
it went to it naturally went to the next one, and it was that couple. I don't know what that show is,
but
because I was familiar with the first couple,
Right,
and the and IGTV kind of switched to the next person. I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, I know that comedian, and I'm like, so sis ain't realized what she was in before.
But let me tell you, I'm so happy you brought her up, because the same thing I was saying, like, I need there to be I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no.
Right.
But there needs to be so much solidness in our relationship.
I don't think there was clarity there.
Right, because in their relationship, it sounded like there was just a lot of fun and people fell in love, which is why I said a lot of lust, a lot of sex,
Right.
and he knew what he wanted. And in that interaction, he kind of was like, well, you knew what you was signing up for. And then she was like,
It sounded like she didn't. She was capping?
She's not stupid.
Great
She
chaos.
knew exactly what was going on. Let's not try to play dummy here. She knew what she was involved in. I just think sometimes women think they could change men. He's for me, and what he's showing you is who he is.
I disagree.
I'm not saying they're not things that you can't help them evolve and slightly change. But for someone like him, that man is wild. And he was like, you got into this relationship knowing we were out here sleeping with different people. Did you not hear the segment where he was like, you were sleeping with them with me?
I watched all the episodes.
Yeah, I saw that snippet. I was like, sis, what you gonna say to
No,
that?
I think in her mind, he can have side chicks. I will be the queen. She believed, okay, if I'm on the top and it makes a difference between me and other women, I'm fine with it. And she's starting to be bothered when she realized that he was actually having intimacy and relationships with other women. And that's where stuff. And then we found out that she was pregnant.
Because she wanted to be, she was pregnant. I didn't know that. Wait,
So
'cause
that's why she was starting to
she
be
wanted
like-
to be at the top of the ladder while he was maybe exploring,
And
they
I
were
think that's
exploring
not,
together.
I think that's kind of naive, because it will be really, women, we have these idealistic things in our head. Yes, I'm going to be on the top, and I'm going to choose the women, and I'm not going to choose a woman who with a too big ass. I'm going to take a cute one that's going to respect me, and she's going to actually like me even more than him. Girl, bye. The guy's an artist.
No woman. It's just gonna be me and him.
He has groupies.
She said, I'm not even going to have to deal with all that.
No, but the thing is, if you go
selfish.
date someone
Right.
famous,
Low-key,
an athlete,
high-key.
I
a
would
comedian,
never.
an actor, I mean, you know what comes
Which is why you
with
need
the package.
clarity in what you want.
Right.
And what might be the potential things that you will deal with in certain relationships, which is why I said, I know for myself, I'm not saying all rich men or men of what are they calling these names now? High value men.
Right.
Right. So many names.
Right.
Will go ahead and cheat on me or do certain things. But know what you're signing up for, sis. Data.
Well,
collect
accountability.
data. Accountability.
Discernment.
Yes. Absolutely. Good judgment. And
That's a good
I'm
word
not
right
saying
there.
it's not, it's, yes, discernment, but some people are manipulative as, like, come on. Like, sometimes you think you're in a relationship with one person, and like back in the days,
you're not superhuman.
He's got a whole family on the side.
You're not superhuman, but if you do feel you can catch on to cues, that'll tell you a lot.
Absolutely,
We
good
naturally
judgment.
have our own intuition, right?
I believe that.
So you can be like, well, he did state very clearly this is a relationship between us exclusively. But then you're going to see cues where his actions are going to say otherwise.
They're not lining up.
And I think a lot of times when we're like, I don't want to seem like I'm looking into it too deeply. I don't want to seem too crazy or too whatever. When it's like, no, sis, you're not crazy. Your heart, your brain, your body naturally is telling you, check your man.
Run.
Because that might not be your man.
Hey, look, run.
And again, I feel like
the community's guy.
a lot of women are looking at men as, it's just in their nature to cheat. So they're like, I don't want to change who you are. I just want you for who you are. So I'm kind of going to put up with it. But we have to set rules in the whole thing. And
right.
she's like,
No.
And look, at the end of the day,
like
I feel
that.
like some women are so calculated. They know. We're talking about clear, defined goals and what you want in your relationship. Some women don't want to do too much with their lives. They want a man of a certain caliber and tax bracket. So they are willing to, some are willing to put up with certain shit. Fine. At the end of the day, it's an exchange. We're all putting up with something, but I'm just not willing to put up with that. Like, that whole cheat respective, you're not gonna be wilding on me. Like, you're not gonna be.
And I'm not gonna be like, that's my man. Cheat respectfully.
Cheat is my man.
and
Cheat
then
respectfully.
you got STD.
I have too much mouth for that.
Delete all that. Control Alt Delete.
Like, for me, I have,
face.
and that's why I said it's really good to know who you are and what you want in your relationship. Everyone's different. Some people be like, I could shut up and deal with this to gain this. Fine. As a friend, as a person, I may challenge your thought process, but if that's what you want to do and you can do, and you can look at yourself in the mirror, by all means, do whatever makes you happy. But for someone like myself, I just know that I cannot exist in a certain world. Like, I'm nice and sweet, but I got a little
Right.
Me, I respect people as long as there's honesty. I respect
Hold on.
people.
Honesty.
Honesty.
I heard Hennessy. Sorry.
You would hear Hennessy.
As long as there's honesty, everything is possible.
As long as there's Hennessy.
Yeah.
And it's a
word.
Hashtag
A word.
sponsored. I wish. But as long as people are just honest. How do you say that?
Honest. That wine kicking in. It's the wine, girl.
It's the French
Honesty.
accent, girl.
French
Honesty.
wine.
I've learned in school that the H is like.
You know what? I think people pronounce it honesty.
Honesty. Okay.
But if you're Jamaican, honesty, because
Right.
they put H's where it don't
We
belong,
just
and then
put
they take
things-
away the H with
Right.
every vowel.
Jamaicans
of my
just put
Jamaican
shit
husband.
everywhere. Take
Instead of
away
honesty,
shit.
they say honesty. They're going to put emphasis on the H.
Right.
But as long as
I
we
make up
all
words, so it's
agree
okay.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I kind of have a little problem. I don't want men to attack me, but I don't really think they're reliable though. Like I don't know. I
You're
feel like
married. You're talking about men are not reliable?
men in general, when we set the more rules you add, the more difficult you make it for the relationship.
What rules are we adding?
Oh, like for example, people who are in a polygamous relationship or
okay,
polyamorous
okay,
relationship,
okay.
they need rules to maintain a certain balance in the
Boundaries, yeah.
relationship.
And you think men are not
Governments,
reliable in
they
the
need
sense where they
government.
still going to do
and
whatever
you know
they
what?
want.
Let me say just human, period.
Right. I was going to say,
Once
that's why there's government.
There's too many rules, too many boundaries, too many things to respect. Where's the fun part?
Right.
You were doing all this because you still want to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Like you still want to have options. So now, this is just...
Is it though? Because I feel like the serious conversations behind polyamorous relationships were the ability to love a certain group of your special group of people equally, and to not have to be the only one pressured to be the perfect one or whatever like that. So like, because a lot of misconception with polyamorous relationships is, oh, these people just want to have more than one person to have sex with. Like, is it
It's
the
not
fun
even sex,
part,
it's a relationship.
or
It's
is
like-
it? Because I'm like, you want to be in a relationship with more than one person, and most people can't even handle
One person. You got to dig.
Yeah, but these people, they actually feel like they can't just be in love, fall in love with just one person. And I don't believe it. I mean, it kind of makes sense, and I do believe that the polyamorous community is way ahead of the game
Why?
because they just accept that it's like saying that you only have one soulmate.
Yeah, I
don't believe
I
that.
don't believe in that either.
So if
I
I
think
do
there's
not
mon-
have just one soulmate, why do I have to restrict myself with just one person? That's the logic behind
Like,
this
but
type
at the
of
same time.
relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's
But
the
what if I
difference.
met them at the same time?
That's a lot to dig into.
So you got
and
like
it's
5
like cool.
soulmates, and you
That's-
so happen to meet them all together. And you're like, yo,
Wow.
I think we can make this work.
And
The
some
thing
people
is,
spend their
it's
whole life
like-
with no soulmate at
Right.
all.
To me,
I
it's
have a
like,
cat,
who
so I think
made
I'm
these
pretty much good right
boxes?
now.
You said what?
I have a cat. We pretty much good.
You and the cat.
We solid.
I feel like also too, because I'm really weird with all the like this and it has to fit in this box. I don't believe in extreme boxes, so it's just like I respect that, but I'm still like at the end of the day learning myself and the things that I truly want.
Yeah.
That's why I said I'm open. I know that I'm not a person that's like I don't ever want to do an open relationship. I just feel like whoever I want to be with, create a family with, I want to make sure that we have a bond, and there's such connection and openness and discussion that if that ever is a topic, I want to know, okay, why do you want that? Maybe when we 50, 60, like I said, for now. And that might be a thing. And I kind of agree with they're kind of ahead of their times because I don't believe in you just have one soulmate. You know how many people
I
on
feel
this
like there's
planet?
people who believe in a monogamous relationship who don't believe there's only one soulmate, but they do prefer to work with that one person
And
for the rest of their
focus.
life.
And focus on one.
Focus.
For the rest of their life. Well, if it's no problem to
But
you,
some
I don't think
people-
of it as focusing.
But
I
some
think it's just living
people-
your best life with the one that truly matters to you.
I agree, but some people also want a little bit of fun. And fun
That's
for
called
them.
dating.
She said, don't get in a relationship.
Just
What
go
happens if
dating.
you're married and you've been married for 30 years and things are getting a little rusty and they just want to throw people in? That's what I'm saying. They want
The
to
world
throw
is
people
so
in.
endless. There's so many things to spice up.
I agree.
I just know what I like.
Right,
so like,
exactly.
Polyamory, I will be so intrigued to talk to people who are in that. I just don't care to do it myself. I'm not going to say, ew, like, what are you doing? That's stupid. I don't think what
Right,
people
right.
want to do with their lives is
It's
stupid.
respect at the
because
end of the day.
Right. It's like, I want to learn so much as to how do you make this work? What is a walk in your life look like?
yeah.
How much money in your bank account? Like, I find people so interesting because I love talking to people.
I agree, me
So
too.
like, being in a polyamorous relationship doesn't make sense to me because I can have friends
Okay.
or whatever. Because I know my love is for one person.
Okay.
Because it's so deserving, I'm not going to divvy it up for about 5 people.
Right. Because that's different than being in an open relationship.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not about to invest my whole life into multiple people because I feel like figuring out myself is enough.
Imagine
And then-
if you're busy and you got to make time for 5 people.
And then- right.
I barely got
It's
time
a
to even
mess.
date one guy.
It's
And
a lot
then-
of drama.
Right. And then pulling my future husband into the equation and you know me, I like to dissect the hell out of people.
Right.
So it's like one person,
Your full-time job is going to be dissecting every person you talk to.
exactly, because it is.
Like, girl.
It's exactly what my full-time job is. But I am not opposed to openness.
I think
Probably
there's
later.
beauty in being with someone who allows you the space to explore and to grow.
A safe space.
Because
yes.
you date someone, but let's say in 10 years of relationship, you're not going to be the same person
yeah.
at the beginning and then after 10 years. So if after 10 years as a woman you feel like you're feeling some attraction to other women and you want to see what's up, I think there's beauty in having a man who can handle it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now,
Communication.
society, what's funny is that most women wouldn't feel comfortable with their man being like, okay, after 10 years, like, I want to explore things with you.
What do you mean?
Like,
I'm enough.
why is that this bias, yo? Like, why?
I don't
What's wrong?
understand. They
Why?
start going crazy.
So
I don't know. If after 10 years I was with my man and he talking about men, I was like, oh yeah.
You said what? You said man.
Okay.
so
You say what?
talking about relationship goals, what would be the queen's code of the day?
I think at the end of the day, respecting my views, others' views, and just what I want in a relationship.
Right. Once you respect
Discernment.
yourself, one, you respect the person you're interested in. You're respecting everyone else if it's more than one person, or if it's anybody else. Once respect is there, it becomes almost effortless because then there's no bad mind behind anything anymore.
Right, exactly.
Because you're
Exactly.
already accepting, you're already supporting, and you're already willing to work, or you're already willing to understand. So like, there's no if, ands, or buts. It's like, I respect this going forward. Bam, this is what it is. And you just, it's limitless.
Great
And
topic.
good judgment and having good judgment.
Yeah, because if you don't have good judgment, you're gonna fall into a pit several times before you actually learn.
And another thing, really, on top of that is, you know, as far as social media, there's so many beautiful relationships, and you definitely can take parts that you like, oh, okay, but really defining and clarifying what you want for yourself in your life, I feel like is important.
So before we go, guys, just if you could name just one couple that is relationship goals to you as well.
Ooh.
I'll say Will and Jada.
Will and Jada, I like them.
Yeah.
They're raw.
They
I
are. They went through a lot.
I don't couple watch because I have a cat and I'm happy.
Okay. I will say I don't have a couple, but I would say any couple that can be a bit raw and vulnerable. Let's just say, like, I'm not saying Jay-Z and Beyonce, but Jay-Z and Beyonce being on such a big platform with people looking up to them and being like, hey, you know, we're not perfect. I can respect that at the end of the day because it shows people like, hey, we're all working through stuff. No matter how much
money you got, how popular, famous.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know of a certain couple, but as far as rawness goes, I can respect that.
Right.
Great convo, and I hope you guys tune in for the next topic. I'm not saying what it is yet, but it's gonna be hot. Please subscribe, comment, like, follow, all of that, and we'll see you the next time.
Yes.
Sorry, you kept saying it's an hour.
I know. I seen it. All right, wrap up.
Turn it off.
Oh, just on air?
It's so funny. I had my cousin message